welcome back. So I'm working from home today and I have a little bit of a break because one of my postdoc clinical supervisees is like out of town, and then I don't remember why. Anyway, so I'm going to update you on the HOA shenanigans, and then I have two news stories to tell you where, like, it really makes me question people's decision-making skills. I also thought that I would use the ADEPT CYBORG Choir palette. Ooh, I feel like this is one that I haven't used as much. Yeah, so I'm just bringing this out to do some looks. A look. I don't have time to do more. What am I talking about? Because I have to work. Y'all, okay, remember I went to the HOA meeting and they told, what are we calling him? Jim? I have his real name now and it's so fitting. But they told Jim to calm the hell down. And then I wrote Jim a letter and we were texting. I was sending him some support. And then I was on the phone with Jim for 54 minutes. First of all, I've deduced that Jim might be a little racist. A little bit. One of those people who's racist but like don't know it. You know what I mean? Besides that, if we put that aside, child, Jim wants to, I'm going to use the Prelusion and probably Specular eyeshadow bases from Davina. The Specular one is like a sparkle and shimmer base. So yes, I'm actually going to use that one to prime like this area of my eyelid. Okay, it's 54 minutes with Jim, right? And yeah, like he said some stuff that I was like, I don't know that that's appropriate to say, but you know, all right, okay. I think, I don't know if I should say that. I think he thinks like I'm like one of the good ones because like I'm a professional. Okay. Like, we have to focus on one thing at a time, okay? I feel like confronting him about his potential racism and ethnocentrism unfortunately has to happen later. And I don't, anyway. So, Mr. Jim, I won't say his name, wants to put together a proposal for how we can like build a structure around the trash. Now, if you don't remember the story, the whole thing started because these folks over here, they moved out like in the cover of night, and they put all of their bulk items by the trash bin. So couches, lamps, mattresses, everything. It was sitting there for a while. Nobody was moving it. Nobody was coming to get the bulk trash. So on a Tuesday night about 10 o'clock, Jim went out there and he had on a fedora, some pajamas, and a long robe, and he started chucking all the stuff at the people's door. And then the police came. And they were like, sir, you got to move it back because you can't be doing this. And he was just cussing in the street. And I am spying from my Ring camera, from the upstairs windows, the downstairs windows, and because I'm enjoying myself and I am egging him on. All right, so then we go to the HOA meeting, right? Because I'm like, Jim for real gonna be there. I need to see what's going on. Get there, both he and I complain about things, and they were like, we can't speak about anything that has to do with one of the homeowners. And I'm like, but this is a common space anyway. So at some point, they told Jim he needs to calm the hell down, okay? They were like, you need to calm the... No, what did they say? Yeah, you need to calm the hell down, right? I think, something like that, something rude. So then I took it upon myself to get a little notepad and write a little note to Mr. Jim, and I'm like, I believe exactly the same thing. So Mr. Jim reaches out right away, and he's like, let's set up a time to talk. And I thought I was just gonna be getting some more tea and kikiing and stuff. But he was real serious. Like, wants to put together like a proposal and a plan and all this stuff. And he talked about, you know, he's been living here for 35 years, so respect to that, child. And I believe he has a dossier on everybody, because he was saying he knows who owned this house and like all this information about her. And I feel like he looked me up for certain, because I think that's why he wanted to engage with me. I think he was like, she might be intelligent. Anyway, so we do that, and Mr. Jim starts email me, because he's going to email me all the information that he has gathered and all this stuff. And I wasn't responding to Mr. Jim. I was like, Mr. Jim, I'm not trying to like pull out some like drawings and like blueprints for nothing. Okay, I'm like, I'm gonna support you, and babe, leave my name out of it. So, and because in the background I had already emailed the HOA people twice, all these things, I sent pictures of all the trash, right? Blah blah blah. Maybe I'll do like blues and purples, maybe. Let's start with this one here. It's called Voltage Violet. Okay, so cut to the other day, and I'm driving back to my place, and I'm like, that's different trash. Like, now we got 4 couches over there, and and 4 mattresses and everything. I think there was a barbecue grill, and I'm like, WTF, what happened? Because I'm like, well, maybe they moved the other ones. No, they didn't. Anyway, so then I'm like, there's more stuff. And I'm honestly confused, because I'm like, what, are we in some sort of alternate universe? What is happening? Okay, so I went ahead and took more pictures, and I sent another email, and I was a little spicy on this one, because I was like, so apparently we're not going to be able to check our mail. We're not going to be able to get our mail from the mailbox that's over there. Listen, they have not responded to any of my messages. Not one of them. Usually I'm like real calm and professional. Like my first email telling them that it was rude for people to tell this man to calm the hell down, it was real professional. This one I'm like, listen, okay? Like, y'all fooling with people, time, energy, and mental health. So the other day, we were going to have a family Zoom, right? So I was like, well, I need some alcohol. So I went to the store, and I went to get in my car, and I see Mr. Jim. And when I tell you I ducked down, I was like trying to like get to my car. I think he saw me, but whatever. So I came back, and I'm just like averting eye contact, but I see him in his door, and I know he looking at me, right? And so then I'm looking out of my door when I get in the house, and I see him. He is talking to every resident that come out their home. And I'm like, you know what, Mr. Jim, you go ahead, okay? Because then my neighbor over here, we're friends. She texted me. She was like, I just talked to him. Anyway, so I think it was, last night I was coming in from yoga, from restorative yoga. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to take all these pictures, and I'm going to email these people again, because this is ridiculous. So I think I text Mr. Jim, and we go again on our back and forth, kind of like, yeah, this is crazy. And then he said that he contacted the county health department. And I was like, bet, because I was trying to figure out who you're supposed to contact, because it's like, we need to go above the HOA board, because they're just being real sneaky and like non-communicative. So he goes, can you submit a complaint? I'm like, I got you, Mr. Jim. I was about to do that already. So I get up this morning, and I called the county department, the environmental health section. I left a message, and then I went online and submitted a complaint, which really took a lot of time because I couldn't figure it out. And so I then tell Mr. Jim, yeah, I went ahead and did that. I uploaded 9 photos and a video so they could see what we talking about. Mr. Jim told me that he put in 2 complaints. Mr. Jim has no time on his hand. Like, he has a lot of time on his hands to do this stuff. So I can appreciate it, right? Then all of a sudden, we get an email and it's like such and such group will be picking up the bulk trash tomorrow, and we are aware of the homeowners that did this and they have been given a $250 fine. $250? I don't feel like that's enough. I don't feel like that's enough. I don't feel like that's enough at all. I'm going to go in with this shade here, and that is called Cybernetic Spark, and I'm just going to do like a gradient. So anyway, this is interesting. This is softer than the violet shade. The violet one seems to have like some texture, like a little bit of chunk. Anyway. And child, the family Zoom, it was so interesting. Like, not in a bad way. Yeah. Just interesting. Anyway. So that's what some of my time has been spent doing in this work day. You know, just, and they said the next HOA meeting is next Wednesday. When I tell you, I'm going to be there. I am going to be there. It's at 6. It's either 6:30 or 6:45. Whatever. I'm going to be ready at like 6. Okay? Rets to just, I don't know, support Mr. Jim. And it seemed like my neighbor friend seemed like she gonna be there too. I can appreciate the way he is handling all of this. I don't want to go up against Mr. Jim because I do believe he got a dossier on everybody. I really believe it. I really believe it. This man was going up to everybody. I understand though, sir. I get it. So we're gonna see if tomorrow... What's tomorrow? Oh, I'm at the office tomorrow. We're going to see if they come and pick stuff up. If not, I mean, how many complaints can you file with the health department? Mr. Jim did 2, so I guess I still have 1 more to go. Meet his minimum. Anyway, so I'm going to update y'all as to if they pick the stuff up and after the meeting next week. Like, I'm trying to be bold about the fact that I've been just sending emails and stuff and being nasty. So I gotta go prepared next Wednesday. I just have to be like just bold in my righteous anger. Right? I can't like be all meek and mild about it. But all that stuff, I'm like, listen, this is a health hazard. I don't know what is over there, and I don't know if something's going to come over there and try to get in my house. Anyway, I guess I don't need the other primer, right? Because it would just be putting it on the outside here, but maybe I'll do it. Okay, so let me tell you these 2 stories, child. 2 or 1. I'm like, which one do I want to do? Okay, so there's this guy in Oklahoma, and he had a court case. The court case, I think he's like 28. So his brain just finished developing, we think. You'll question it. He had a court case because he stole a vehicle. It was like illegal operation of a vehicle or something. So, seems like he didn't have a car, right? He didn't have a way to shuttle himself around. So, one day, he needs to get to the courthouse for his trial, his hearing, whatever it is, he has to go, right? So, he's at the gas station asking people for a ride. Ain't nobody giving him a ride. We don't know you like that, sir. I think his name is Adam. So, you know what Adam does? He steals a car. But this time, it's like an emergency vehicle. So he steals the emergency vehicle, heads to the courthouse, goes in for his hearing, gets arrested. Like, how how did you think this was a good... I kind of understand you need to find a way to get to the courthouse. And it was like a 30-minute drive. You can't walk that. But two things. How did you decide, and why did you decide to steal another car? And most importantly, maybe, why did you steal an emergency vehicle? What if somebody was in the back? Like, in the midst of an emergency? I'm gonna start with robotic fusion here. Like, it's not funny, but it is. Imagine, for some reason, they just loaded your behind into this emergency vehicle. I guess they had to go back inside and like grab your purse or something. All of a sudden, you on the move. You thinking, oh, cool, we about to go to the hospital. Then you go and you're parked in front of the courthouse. And he left the car running and unattended. I'm just like, Adam, Adam, what you thought they were going to do? Like, oh, thank God you made it. Like, yeah, I guess, but this wasn't the best way to make it. I'm thinking of the alternatives. Like, I guess he would have, a warrant would have been issued if he didn't show up. Wait a minute. But why was he trying to get a ride day of? This is bad planning. You should have already asked somebody like at least a week before and reminded them like 2 days before. It don't make no sense that you over here at the gas station on the day seem like 30 minutes before trying to find a ride. And what gets me is these people who do foolishness, like the guy who robbed the bank and left his birth certificate there. Their mug shots are just like you can tell that there's not much behind the eyes. Like, it's just like, you look like somebody that would do that. You just do. How you gonna get arrested for stealing a car on the way to your hearing for stealing a car? I would put in the like, why was he arrested? Because he's stupid. It's real doltish. So I'm just like, how do you make these decisions? Because no one, that's the thing, people don't have friends. Because none of your friends could drop you, but also none of your friends cared enough to let you know, stupid, don't steal a car to get there, okay? Don't do it. I guess, he probably didn't have money for an Uber or something. 30-minute drive is gonna be, if you don't have no money at all, that's not gonna be good. But it feels like an appropriate story for Oklahoma, and it feels like an appropriate story for this fool. He's like, wonder if he's gonna try to get one to like take him home once he gets released. Like, third time's a charm, babes. He must be real handy, though, stealing these cars. He should put that to use. He should, like, do something non-illegal. He should do something legal. I should read a book. I'm going to go into this shade here, which is the shade 77. I don't want to use that brush. But the story that I really want to talk about is one that is dedicated to Erica, Mama Bear. Y'all, have you been to a zoo? They're questionable, right? Because they're Cajun animals and stuff like that. And now all of a sudden people love to like climb into the enclosures and, try to touch animals when they're not supposed to. Like that fool, what was her name? Zaire, that fool who tried to pet the tiger at the New Jersey zoo. So people be doing stupid stuff. Anyway, There is a zoo in China. And you know, I think some animals are more popular than others when you go to the zoo. And a hugely popular animal is the panda, right? Like I was just reading something about China sending, I think, 2 pandas over to San Diego, California. Here's the thing. I have a special place in my heart for pandas because that was my school mascot. Don't even try. Okay, I know that they're just like cute and really, they do nothing. But that was our mascot. We were the pandas, all right? Don't trip because that means Tyra Banks was a panda and Meghan Markle was a panda. Mary Tyler Moore was a panda and Shawnee was a panda, all right? We're all pandas. So I'm like, oh, what they doing with the pandas? So I'm reading because, you know, this zoo specifically wants to make sure that they have pandas. The people want pandas. They didn't have no pandas. Aren't they endangered? I don't know, but they didn't have no pandas. So what they did is they took some chow chow puppies and they painted them black and white to look like pandas. And so they put them in the panda enclosure, right? So people are bopping by to kind of see the pandas. And some folks are like, those aren't pandas. Like, they're doing things that dogs do. Like, you know, scratching and, like, yawning. Like, you know what a dog does, girl. And they were... When you look at these pandogs, you can tell that they are not pandas, all right? And I'm like, y'all tripping. But they're not the only zoo to do it. And so I'm thinking, as I told Erica about this last night, because Erica and her husband Paul love animals. I feel like they would go steal those pandogs. Here's the thing, like, who came up with this idea? Something like this is the reason that I miss staff meetings, because I really want to know who was like, you know what we could do? Those chows, like I had some chows and they kind of, I feel like they kind of look like pandas, like the chow chow babies. Why don't we spray paint them? Ain't nobody gonna know. Okay, turn the lights down a little low and throw these chows up in there. People like pandas, people like dogs. It just, they're gonna be okay. And so then, after that, somebody approved this plan. Somebody approved it. I'm also like, how did they choose? I guess they had to think of what animal, what dog would be the best, like, for this subterfuge, right? So I'm just thinking, like, what if they had used, like, a Doberman or, like, a Labrador, a Golden Retriever. So I can appreciate that they chose a dog that it kind of, like, if you close one eye, you step back by, like, 50 feet, and you, like, lean back and look, you might consider that that's a weird looking panda. I'm just... There was another zoo where people were accusing them of putting humans in panda suits and throwing them in the panda enclosure. And I told Erica, like, I wouldn't be opposed to getting in a panda suit. I wouldn't be opposed, okay? I mean, I would just need the enclosure to be at a relatively cold temperature. But could you, first of all, they wouldn't pick me. They wouldn't pick me. Like, when you're in the staff meeting and they're like, who's going to do what this today? And they're like, okay, so whoever is here at noon, you have to put on the panda suit. Shawnee, we can't use you, girl. Your boob's too big. And So I feel like that would be discrimination. But I would not be opposed to getting in a panda suit because all you got to do is sit there the whole day. All you have to do is sit there. You don't have to do. That's the perfect kind of job. And I think I'll go into synthetic sound wave. Maybe I'll put that a bit at the top here. I just love that they thought this would work. I love that they thought this would work. No one is gonna notice. And the zoo is like, people want to see pandas. We don't have pandas, so we went with the next best thing, okay? We are innovative. And they're also not getting rid of the pandogs. So you could still go see them. I don't know what you're supposed to think now. Are we supposed to still pretend that these are pandas? Or can we now accept that they are spray painted chow chows and should be called pandogs? What about when that paint rubs off? And I don't think it's smart to be painting animals like that. I guess if you use like some kind of safe paint, does that exist? What if these dogs start barking? Because pandas don't bark, right? Pandas just sit there and eat leaves. They don't even do nothing really. That's why I'd be okay with that job. I ain't gotta do nothing. I can lay down and sleep. I mean, I wouldn't be convincing. I already know that. I would not. Because something would make me laugh. Or I'd be like, I gotta pee. Like, I'm like, when's my lunch break? It would be like, we have one less panda, y'all. She's sick. We just have to put her up. So you just gonna just watch this other one. They would have me out there for maybe 15 minutes at max. I already know I'd be foolish. I already know. Because something would happen. Like, I'd be like, am I supposed to drink the water from this bowl? Can I have some sparkling water? Oh, God. And I bet you whoever thought it up was like, boom, promotion. Oh, y'all, Jesus Christ. I wonder if somebody told, like, their family or something, like, y'all, guess what we gonna do? I'm gonna go into boring circuit just to, what am I doing with it? Something. When I read this, I was just too through. I was just like, that is the remedy y'all came up with? You couldn't just decide, y'all, we just not gonna have no pandas. Just like put a sign on the enclosure and just be like, we don't have pandas, sorry. And just like maybe put some information about pandas. But that for real makes me think, because pandas are endangered, right? I mean, that's what we get. That's what we get for messing with the environment. Now we can't have pandas. How much you want to bet that a bunch of zoos about to do this? Or have like AI pandas. They probably already do. They probably already do. I want to know where all the pandas are in captivity in these zoos. When I tell you, I read that and I was like, they did not. Okay, they did not. Could you imagine like taking a video or a photo and uploading it to like Instagram and people are like, those pandas look weird. Why is it scratching behind his ear like that? Oh my god. How often did they have to paint these pandogs? Like, how long? That's like a toxic substance. I'm really wondering. Somebody was probably sneaking and buying the paint and using cash so they couldn't be tracked. Okay, what I'm about to use, I'm going to use the All Nighter Ultra Glow Face Primer from Urban Decay. Y'all. What would you do if you were in that staff meeting? Because I would probably encourage the shenanigans. I would probably be like, you know what? That's a good idea. I support this. Just to be contrary. Or I would just keep taking notes. Like, who's supposed to be taking notes for the meeting? Me? Okay, cool. Because you know what? They don't pay me enough. They don't pay me enough to get my opinion about things. I'm trying to come up with a... Oh. You know what it is? They're like, people are stupid. They're not going to know. They're not going to know. You know what? They're just here to look through their phone on TikTok and Instagram. They're not even going to notice. I understand that thinking. I would want my money back. Do zoos charge? I would want my money back. Because you over here, like, playing with me. Now, I don't trust that any of these animals are actually the animal that you claim they are. Are these cats, like, kittens that y'all put some spots on? Why this elephant so small? Oh. Why it look like that's some acrylic nails on the gorilla? Explain to me that. I can't. I will not attend this zoo. I won't, because y'all taking me for a fool. But I'm also sitting here like, how many people do you think just went in that zoo and came out without a question? And then there was some little busybody that was like, is that a chow? Mind your business. Mind all of your business and stay out of ours. That was the NARS Soft Matte Foundation, which is definitely a throwback. This has been one of my favorite foundations. I think it was my top foundation one year. Let me know if you have this. I don't see many people using it. And I know, like, it's definitely soft matte, and I know some people don't like that or don't want heavy coverage. So what I do is I just use a little bit, because I feel like you can really, like, change the, I don't know, the level of coverage. And I'm going to go ahead and put on concealer and all of that stuff because I'm getting close to when I need to see my next person, and then I will come back. Let me know your thoughts on the panel. Here's the finished look. I went in with a lip liner from Colored Rain. It's in the shade Queen Tings. And I topped that with the shade Prima Donna, the lip gloss from the Dame Patricia McGrath. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, okay. Anyways, let me know what you think about Adam, who stole a car to get to court for stealing a car. And I really want to know what you think of the pandogs. Is it like ingenious or just stupid? Anyways, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you're continuing to take care of yourself. I really like this palette. I love the colors, the shimmers mix well, and the mattes are good, especially given that they are from ADEPT. They have gotten better and better with their mattes over time. The black I didn't feel was super dark. I have a lot of blacks that are much darker. This is almost like a gray black. So if you're looking for like that depth, probably not gonna get it with that black. But the other shades are great. And if you want a gray black, then that is the way to go. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Let me know if there are palettes you want me to use, and I'll check to see if I have them, and I'll do one look, maybe 2. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.